Diane and Gemma, how does it feel for me? May 2025, Part 2. How was your diabetic eye screening at St James's Hospital?
I needed an interpreter, but one wasn't there.
My dad is also deaf, and my dad only sort of went for mobility support and transport to get there. There's like zero expectation for him to be able to interpret.
The eye test had pictures on the wall with the letters A, B, C, and whatever. My left eye, I can't see anything at all. The right eye is good, and I could read them well. Then they explained that they would give me eye drops. That stung my eyes at first, but then it faded. After the drops, I couldn't see anything at all.
Usually when I go to this appointment with my mum, I say to the nurse, can you explain what's going on before you put the eye drop in? Because she won't be able to see afterwards. She won't have the foggiest what's going on. And this time, because I wasn't there, my dad had to sort of interpret it from the side because she literally couldn't lip read or know anything that was going on with the eye drops. It was sort of disappointing that there was no interpreter booked, despite them both being profoundly deaf.
When you were told you needed cataract surgery, did you feel supported and informed?
I was told straight away that I have cataracts in my left eye. They gave me a consent form for me to fill in. I texted Gemma saying, "Can you come and help me fill in the form?" She came a few days later. She read through all of it. "Is that all?" And I signed it. Gemma's helped me a lot. Mostly, I could ask her questions.
My mum was sent home with a leaflet, was like a 45-page booklet on like everything to do with cataracts, which isn't fully relevant, to be honest. When both my parents came home from this appointment, at first they were like completely freaking out. Like both of them messaged and texted me separately, being like, "Mum needs surgery." I think all my mum really needed to know was cataracts is a very simple like surgery. She won't see anything that's going on when it happens. She'll be awake and that everything will be okay. But she didn't really have that assurance. So like both my parents were just panicking about it. And then it wasn't until after I went through the whole leaflet, read all of it for my parents, and then explained all of it to my mum that she was like, "Oh, okay, I understand now," and happily signed the consent form. But at first it was just absolutely terrifying for both of them.
How does this experience make you feel?
I feel let down. I need Gemma there for more information and to get everything. She tells me everything.
Gemma, how has this affected you as a carer?
I mean, it feels really disappointing that like services aren't able to reassure them when they're there at the appointment and they've sort of just come home from the appointment feeling horrible. It's not a great feeling for me either, because then I'm like worrying about my parents because they're worried. I don't feel confident at all in the service being able to communicate to my mum and help her feel reassured when she's getting the surgery. Well, it puts more pressure on me to actually go to these appointments and be the interpreter myself, because it's having surgery, you know, is something that is a bit scary. And so then I have to sort of arrange and make time to do that.
What would make things better for you?
You can make sure there's an interpreter for the day of the surgery. I feel less nervous if there's an interpreter there. They help me a lot. When the woman can't explain, I feel lost. When I have communications support there like Gemma, I get full information.
I think having interpreters there is so important for my parents to sort of understand what's going on, understanding their care, and also just getting rid of like any fears as well. Like it gives them the opportunity to ask questions and really understand, okay, maybe it's not as scary as it sounds. If they know what's going on, then they'll feel a lot more confident about managing their own health.
Since we last spoke in February, what have you valued the most in managing your health and care?
So, the thing I have valued the most is my daughter Gemma, who has to get used as the interpreter. I understand everything she says.
think the thing that I've valued the most is probably where services have been more flexible. So coming to my parents' home, because my mum struggles with mobility, either providing interpreters or being able to do sign language themselves, and like having different ways to contact. So, you know, not just a telephone, but text message, email, you know, other ways that my parents can then do things themselves and like look after themselves instead of having to rely on me.
The Accessible Information Standard requires health and care services to provide communication support, such as a BSL interpreter, instead of relying on family or carers. This ensures professional advice is accurately translated, protects privacy, and means that individuals don't have to rely on others. Thank you to Diane and Gemma for sharing their story. Produced by Healthwatch Leeds in collaboration with Lara.